I can't bash Rick Shiels. He's a legend. He's huge. He's the biggest golf YouTuber. He's the first golf YouTuber to get over 1 million subscribers that was like a golf YouTuber. There may be, I don't know, that's a gray area. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Sundays at 3 with GTD. I appreciate you joining me for another episode. This one is not going to be quite as long as the last one. The responses that I had in the first episode, the number of questions that I had, really, it kind of became overwhelming, and I had so many questions to get to that it ended up being a 40-minute episode. Today's episode is not going to be quite that long, but I do want to address all the questions and comments that I got from this second episode, now in episode 3. So here we go. All right, we'll get started with question number 1. This is from the Weekend Hack. Question: who's the one YouTube golf vlog you'd like to collaborate with, be it a match or just working on the golf swing? That's a really great question, but before I get to that, let me read this reply from Bill Brugink. Man, I hope I'm not butchering that last name. Bill Brugink. He says, Paige Spearneck. Can't help being a guy. If you haven't seen Paige Spearneck in her YouTube channel, she's got tons of subscribers. Instantly, as soon as she came on the scene, they jumped right on top of that whole channel and just flooded it with subs and views. Getting on to the Weekend Hacks question, my response would be, and I think he means this, who would you like to do a collaboration with? And you know, YouTube's full of collaborations, lots of channels kind of getting together and doing a mashup. And if I was able to just pick anybody to do a collaboration with, who would it be? Really, that's a really tough question. It's something that I've never really thought about. I mean, I've thought about possible collaborations that might make sense, but if you're saying no holds barred, you can pick any golf YouTuber out there on the planet that you'd like to do some videos or a series with. I mean, I've got some coming up. Shawn Clement Wisdom in golf. I'm going to be, doing some videos back and forth with him for a while, working on doing a review of the swing and trying to learn and go through the process. We've done some Skype videos together. We're going to be producing videos for our channels from those sessions, and I mean, that's like a dream collaboration right there. I never thought that something like that would even be possible. Now, this next one is from Mick Barrett. Mick, again, from episode 2, he had some comments on there. This one says, "Hello, pal. A really enjoyable and engaging new style of video for you. Thanks, Mick. Thank you for your shout out. With regards to the best training YouTube channels, Danny Maud is exceptional. Nice, clear, and concise instruction, and comes across as just a good guy, not unlike yourself. Keep up the great work." Mick, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support I get from my subscribers and the people that make comments and hit the thumbs up. Definitely supporting the channel, helping it grow. Danny Maud, I've watched quite a few of Danny Maud's videos. He's got some really good stuff, man. I love Danny Maud's way of teaching. He's got an energy about him that's just, "Hey everyone, Danny Maud here." And just that energy just kind of, it just takes over his videos, and you have to appreciate videos like that because it keeps you engaged. And the way he presents it to you is really good stuff. You got to go check out Danny Maud if you haven't already. And this next one comes from Gary Johnson. Gary says, "Which swing did you send him? Enjoy your vids." He's referencing the videos that I sent off to Shawn Clement. He asked for a few baseline videos that I sent him in private. And then from that, he kind of did an examination and looked at it. I sent him what was the swing that I was kind of working on before he and I sort of got together and put our heads together to try to do this review. It was just what you would call the basic Chad swing. A couple of videos prior to this, I started doing Building My Swing, a Building My Swing series. And it was just sort of, I don't know, I don't really have an identity anymore. So it's hard to say which swing it was that I sent him, but it's what I would call the Chad swing. Also, really quick from Gary Johnson again, he says, "Is the down under board pressure treated?" If you didn't watch episode 2, and if you didn't watch all of episode 2, toward the end, somebody had asked me about what I thought about the training age, like the down under board and the ends weight. The ends weight. That's right. And I looked up the ends weight after that video, and it looks like it's a weight that you put on the end of your club. Ends weight. I have no idea. I think that the down under board is actually like, maybe it's like a piece of aluminum or something. Maybe that's how they justify the higher price in it. The next one comes from David Hust. He says, "Do you have any furniture?" So in that video, I was in a house that had no furniture in it, and the reason is because I'm a superintendent for a residential home builder, and that house was nearing completion. It's about to close, and I thought, it might make a nice little location to shoot in. So it's not my house; it's a house that I'm bringing in for some clients, and that's why there's no furniture in there, David. The Weekend Hack responds again and says, "Not an additional question, just wanted to say, I see this series going places. There's so much you can do with it." And I'm glad he brought that up, because I don't want this to be just put into a box. You know what I mean? I want this recurring series of episodes to be whatever it needs to be. If at some point down the road it needs to evolve and it needs to become something else, to stay relevant or to provide you guys with something that you would like to see, then, I want to be able to have that freedom. So I'm trying not to define these episodes too much. If you'll hang around toward the end of the video, I'm going to show you my swing currently, as I have been working with Shawn now for about a week and a half. All right, so this next one is from Richard Steiner. And Richard says, "Chad, nice video. Wonder if Shawn would do a video call to analyze your swing that could be recorded and posted. Also, how about sending the same video to Bobby Garcia, quote, Quick Fix Golf, unquote, to compare to Shawn's analysis?" Thanks for that question, Richard. And it's funny you should say that, because as I mentioned earlier, Shawn and I have done a couple of Skype sessions already. One where I was just kind of sitting and watching him on his mat, and he was showing me some things, and we were kind of talking a little bit about what he noticed in my swing. And there should be more Skype calls in the future where we're doing online lessons. And that first evening that we talked for about an hour on Skype, and then actually I emailed him and I said, "Hey, I'd love to be able to get some footage of maybe me out here and you at your hitting area." All right, up next we've got My Golf Quest. What I like about Shawn Clement's teaching is, even if you don't use his method, his task-based and swinging with intention is transferable to any swing method. I have said the exact same thing, and that is why I love the teaching that is like this, that's task-oriented, because Manuel de la Torre, for instance, here's just a prime example of a teacher who kind of gets it, and that I think a lot of. He always said, you can tell somebody what to do, but not how to do it. So if I tell you to take a hammer and hit a nail, the way you hit that nail with the hammer may look similar to other people's, but there are little minutiae and nuances and fine detail and differences that is different from this person to this person to this person, and so on and so forth. And I can tell you to take this hammer and drive that nail into that board, but I can't tell you how to do it. You have to sort of fumble around if you've never used a hammer and learn on your own. And then all of a sudden you'll feel that good strike, and you'll go, oh, that's it. And your brain will make the association with synapses across the little dome up here. And then that will create that sort of connection. And you'll know just how that hammer is supposed to be applied to that nail, simply through experimentation and trial and error on your part. Then if you have a golf coach that says, now we're going to drive a nail this way toward the target, pretend there's a nail in the golf ball and pretend the golf club is a hammer, hit that nail with the hammer. Now you don't have to be told how to do it or what position to get into. You'll eventually learn that, okay, if I want to strike it squarely, I can't come out here. I can't come under here. I have to come this way to strike it squarely and drive the nail toward the target. I got it. And that's why I like the task-oriented teaching so much more than position-based or biomechanical stuff that's all over conventional golf. Now, another thing that My Golf Quest added after that, have you ever looked at Square to Square with Sam Golden? Interesting concept and something I may try. I have seen a couple of Sam's videos, and I'm definitely familiar at least with knowing that Square to Square exists, and I've got a little bit of an idea in my head of what it is, but I could not speak on it intelligently because I haven't delved into it in any kind of in-depth way. I will be looking into it a little bit more just for my own knowledge, but I am familiar with it and I've seen some of the videos, but I've never tried it. Next up, we have Andrew DeG. D, little E, big G. Andrew DeG. He says, 100% agree about Shawn Clement. If you ever get to Quebec, Canada, you need to stop in and get a lesson from him. I was one of the fortunate people to be taught by him before he moved to Quebec. Hashtag Shawn Clement all the way. Yeah, I would love. This is kind of a thing that I brought up to Shawn in one of the emails that I sent him, but I've got this like weird obsession with Canada. I don't know. And in the video that I sent him, I actually told him, I'm like, look, man, we love Canada. We love Murdoch Mysteries. It's one of our favorite shows. We watch it all the time. I can't wait for season 14 to come out. We love Bryan Adams. We love Shawn Clement. We love Les Stroud, the Survivor, man. I've seen everything Les Stroud has made. I think he's an insanely talented dude. The fact that he films it all himself, he's the personality on camera, he comes up with all the ideas, and he creates all the music for the videos when he films it. I mean, multi-talented guy and total Canadian, and I don't know what it is with Canada. I've got this little love obsession with it. Next up is my buddy Steve, Bayou Golf down in Louisiana. Yeah, the Panthers lost. I don't know. Anyway, it's a rebuilding decade. It's a rebuilding century for the Panthers. Give me a break. He says, Chad, thanks for the shout out. Much appreciated. You mentioned Count Yogi, and did you know that JH is a tremendous fan of He and has recently combined channel lock with Count Yogi's swing? JH has some recent videos out that you may want to check out. A great combo that I'll be trying when I get back out there. You had a comment that asked for testing single length clubs that is costly for you. No money tree growing in your yard either. Why not have your subscribers put in their thoughts on items like this? I love single length clubs for the simplicity of the setup. It took me one round to get used to them. 38¼ inches, 3-iron through all wedges. For me, winter chicken dinner. You have a great channel that's only going to grow. You may have to give up your day job doing PM for the Panthers. Go Saints. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I know. They lost. Okay. Steve mentions JH. If you don't know who JH is, he is John Hensby. He is in Australia. I've actually done a Skype conversation with JH before, talking about old clubs and sort of the history of Cobra Golf and the history of the Maxfly Australian blades. And I've got a little bit of an obsession with Australia also. I don't know where all that comes from, but you know, again, JH is a great guy, and he's been around the world, and he's been able to interact and be in close proximity and work with people like Mo Norman, Count Yogi. I mean, Greg Norman. He's been around a lot of people like that. JH is a great character. His channel is the number one, Atomic Golf. One Atomic Golf, all one word. He's got tons of videos. Tons, and he created the channel lock golf swing, which is the back ball position on the back foot, and it's gone through several different versions and things like that. And Steve down at Bayou Golf down in Louisiana, he teaches the channel lock method and uses it. So yeah, shout out to JH. How you doing? All right, here's my buddy Strong Island again. He's got the New York Giants logo. You know, I mentioned him last time. Strong Island, I'm pretty sure, is a play on words for Long Island. Yeah, I know. Look at the brain on me. Anyway, love it, GTD. Even though you're a Panthers fan, can't wait to see you on the course. Hit them straight. Thanks, Strong. I appreciate it. Next is from Bob Mansfield. Bob, again, commenting in the last one. Bob says, this video is a great start with YouTubers like you, Steve of Bayou Golf, Brian of Easiest Swing, and Jim Venetos. This game must benefit immensely for the average golfer. Thank you for your frankness and stay safe. Thanks, Bob, and you stay safe as well. He mentions Brian Sparks and Easiest Swing in Golf, and I meant to mention this in the last video. But Brian Sparks, I am very familiar with that. Brian Sparks and Julian Miller and their whole connection to the Zen Golf flow motion world, and how they're all kind of tied in, and they're all spawns of the same, you know, sort of ideal. And Brian Sparks is absolutely fantastic. I love the swing that he's sort of built out of it. It's great stuff. And if you haven't seen the Easiest Swing Golf, man, you got to go check it out. It's really, really good stuff. Go check out Brian Sparks, the Easiest Swing Golf. Check out Julian Miller. Mellor. Go see those videos. And next is Kim Stock, KYM Stock. Again, I mentioned him in the last video. He's got a lot of things in here. I'll try and hit the highlights for you. He says, I'm looking forward to seeing your swing analysis video with Shawn Clement. I love his process/task-oriented approach to golf. New driver, I don't know about you, but I can't see the value in buying the premium brands. This includes Mizuno in Australia on price alone, when I can get similar outcomes from the medium price drivers. Currently playing with a Cleveland HB Turbo and fooling around with the 2 old Nike Vapor speed adjustable drivers in A and R Flex shafts. I hope you try the Tour Edge 220 driver. Let me hit that first in that, if you know me, I love a deal and I'm really cheap. I just ordered a used golf shirt off of eBay for $7. That's how cheap I am. When it comes to this driver, I'm going to do an unboxing. I'll have a video on it and I'll show you. And there's an issue with this driver that I want to show you sort of how I want to fix it as well. But I got a really good deal on it. I shop around for deals. I don't pull the trigger on anything unless it's a deal. I'm just that way. And this driver is a name brand driver. But when I tell you about the deal I got on it, you're going to be impressed. Trust me, just stay tuned for that one. I can identify with those who struggled with the JV swing and longer clubs. Seeing that, I use single length clubs. The JV swing was working a treat. My 4-wood and driver, not so much. Until I stumbled upon using elements of the Eureka setup. Eureka just keeps coming into these videos. The fade shape shots with these 2 longer clubs, I used a Shawn Clement setup for fade with influence of Mike Malaska's release method on the Be Better Golf video, sort of flapping the wrist underarm style, fingers pointing to the ground for the fade. See, I've heard from a lot of people who use different methods for different clubs and different types of swings to get different effects and make their way around the golf course, and I just think that's really cool. You know, Bob said he did it, now Kim's saying he did it. You guys, you're sleeping on it if you're not paying attention. All right, next is from Rusty40B, Rusty40B. True Golf Academy has some nice content on YouTube. Have you seen any of his videos? Absolutely. Yes, I have watched quite a few. I think a lot of his stuff during the lockdown, he was doing in his backyard with a net. There was grass in the deck and everything out there. Pretty good quality videos, really good thoughts, really good ideas. I like True Golf Academy. I think that's a pretty good channel to check out. And this next one gets long-winded because it goes back and forth between 2 people, David Lovulo or Lavullo, and 866, who I mentioned in the last video. So David says, have you ever heard of the golfing machine? Oh my God, yes, I've heard of the golfing machine. Everybody has heard of the golfing machine. However, I have not read it. I have purposely not sought out videos involving the golfing machine. I have purposely avoided those. And the reason is because a lot of the videos I watch, they mention the golfing machine and they talk about complicated it is and how it's relying on this biomechanic perfection and all of this stuff. But I can't say for sure because I haven't read it or seen anything on it, but I've definitely heard of it. He says it is not a method but a catalog based on physics, geometry, and mechanics. A big distinction is made that a hitter uses muscular effort while a swinger uses centrifugal force. The centrifugal force created by the body pivot. The hitter uses muscular force with the arms. People usually who are more talented may mix it dependent on the shot, like a punch versus pitch shot. I've kind of had this thought for a while now that there's 2 basic categories that a golfer can be classified into based on their approach to hitting the golf ball. One would be a leverage muscle power swing, and one would be a momentum gravity sort of let the speed build swinging of the club. That seems to be the 2 ways, and it sounds like what he's saying here is that kind of confirms what I've been thinking anyway. I've played around with both, actually. I've worked with, the swinging of the club, and then I've worked with, trying to use leverage and muscle to impact the golf ball. And I've found some good results with both, if I'm honest. I just think that if I'm looking at longevity, and I'm looking at playing golf into my 80s and 90s and my 140s, then I want a swing that is going to last that entire time, where I'm not going to have to go through and be dependent on something that is going to be fleeting and leaving me like muscle. 86.6 at Golf Test Dummy. Don't even think of trying to read the golfing machine. I read it twice back in the 90s. Sheesh, it's a tough read. Life's too short. Just hit the damn ball. again, kind of confirming that, maybe I did the right thing by not reading the golfing machine. David comes back and says, you're correct. Golfing machine was intended for instructors who had to go through an extensive training program, including demonstrating the ability to perform the basics of the book. The ones I met at a special school, I attended 3 instructors of that caliber, and they all taught PGA pros. The book was meant for the instructors only. So sounds like it wasn't ever meant to get into the hands of us commoners. Teresa Butler coming back again. Great content as usual. No question, just a comment. Hey, I'll take that. I appreciate it. That works for me. Next is from my buddy Jeremy Marmon. I mentioned him in the last video. Go check out his channel. He's a big Count Yogi fan. He's also done some stuff with Overhand Golf. He says, thanks for the response to my comment, Chad. You're super cool. I'm imagining you growing Sundays at 3 with GTD into a talk show with many great golfers and YouTubers. That could be something for the future. I mean, that would be a good thing to collab with some people on. But I don't want to just sit there at a desk with headphones on. I'd rather it be some kind of conversation where we're out on the driving range or we go for a cup of coffee like Jerry Seinfeld having his Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee episode. Something like that would be much more interesting and probably more interesting than me standing around in my garage. I can already see you doing reviews of equipment and training aids. This is exciting indeed. So when Shawn Clement reached out to you, I'm sure you kind of just smiled and basked in the moment. Looked forward to the collaboration with Shawn. Keep it up. Thanks, Jeremy. And yes, it is very much a supreme, really nice thing to be able to communicate back and forth with Shawn in that way. And I'm just excited for the future to see where all this leads. Next is from Cool Stuff. Enjoyed your summary. Thanks. I too found Shawn Clement to be the best. His philosophy got my handicap down from 24 to 18 in less than 2 months. Since then, I've tried a few other ideas and worked on my short game. Now down to 14, aiming for single figures. The other guy that I think is the business is Marcus Bell of Zen Golf, and have recently found Paul Wilson's body coil system to be helpful. The quest to find a simple, repeatable swing seems ongoing, but if you don't experiment, you'll just stagnate. I enjoy your channel best, Pete. Pete, I've heard of all those guys. That is awesome that you've brought your handicap down. No doubt those last 4 strokes came on the heels of your short game improvement. Everybody needs to work on that, and a lot of us don't. In regards to Zen Golf, yeah, obviously I've got the Zen Golf review on there. I never got to talk to Marcus. I never got to work with Marcus. I've had people tell me that really I was missing the point with that review, and maybe I need to go back and try that again sometime. And Paul Wilson, yeah, I watched a ton of Paul Wilson's videos. The body swing, he kind of turns his arms off, and it's all turning your hips back and then turning your hips through. I messed around with that, not formally and not on video, but I've tried some of that stuff, and I found that to be a good little way to hit the ball, honestly. And it's worked for him. It's worked for a lot of his students. You can see video on there where he shows you students' improvement and how he just makes it seem so effortless. He just doesn't really put a lot of effort into his swing, and he generates club head speed, he generates distance, all those things you want. When you look at somebody swinging so lazily and so easy, you think, this guy can't be hitting the ball anywhere, but he actually does. And he's a coach in Las Vegas and has been coaching out there for quite some time. So, yeah, I've definitely heard of those guys. Now here's Eddie66 again. A wise man once said, quote, handicap golfers focus on hitting the ball with the club head, while pro golfers focus on hitting the target with the ball. It's a great comment. It's a great quote. It's a great quote, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's what so many of us struggle with. We get ball bound, we get focused on the ball, we make that our target. Shawn Clement is not the only one that is pointing that out and saying that's an issue. There's lots of guys out there that know that getting ball bound, instead of thinking about your target, it's not the way to go. So, yeah, great point. 86.6 comes back again. This is another good one. Check out Mac O'Grady's teachings on the Morad swing system. It was huge in the late 80s. Boy, Eddie is always good for some Back to the Future. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic. And is heavily based on Homer Kelly's golfing machine. It's the direct opposite of the single plane swing, i.e. Bryson. He also says Rick Shiels is a fraud. His subscriber numbers are very dodgy. Check out Top Bloke's exposure of him and how he went from 600,000 to 1.3 million in a year. It's an insight into the murky underground world of YouTube. Eddie, I can't bash Rick Shiels. He's a legend. He's huge. He's the biggest golf YouTuber. He's the first golf YouTuber to get over 1 million subscribers that was like a golf YouTuber. There may be, I don't know, that's a gray area. But I like Rick's reviews of clubs. I think that he's got the equipment. He's got the insight. He's definitely producing some really high quality videos. He's got an editing team, a filming team, a sound team. He's probably got a social media team. I mean, you know, he's got tons of people doing it for him. He's a long way from what I'm doing, where I produce everything myself. And he's got all the equipment to back it up. And I just find his thoughts on golf clubs and like putters and drivers and iron sets and all that, I find it to be really well thought out. And it deals with a lot of things that I would want to see. And as far as how he jumped from 600,000 to 1.3 million subs, YouTube is weird. And I don't know, I haven't seen the Top Bloke video. I'll need to go find that. I'll need to find the Top Bloke video and see what his point, where he's coming to that conclusion, and see how he's saying that Rick Shiels is a fraud. And maybe I'll do that after this video. I'll try and find that. I'm sure I can look it up. But I don't know. I can't speak intelligently on that because I don't have apparently the information or the insight that Top Bloke has. And I don't know Rick Shiels personally. I've never spoken to him. But for me, I like Rick's stuff. I'm a fan of Rick Shiels. Videos that he puts out, the quality, the blueprint that he set forth for so many golf YouTubers. Everybody's copying that. I'm personally not trying to copy that because I'm trying to blaze my own trail. There's a lot of people that make videos that maybe they make high quality videos and they put them together really nice with great editing, and they got a great camera and their sound equipment is top notch and they've got every little gizmo and gadget. But they don't have that on-camera personality. They're not good in front of the camera. And Rick is. So he's really got the whole hat trick. You know, he's got everything he needs. He's got the quality, he's got the skill. He's a very skilled golfer, and he's got the on-camera personality. It's just a match made in heaven to be a successful YouTuber of any kind, let alone a golf YouTuber. So can't bash Rick Shiels. Sorry about that one, Eddie. All right, I told you I was going to hit some golf balls for you and kind of show you some of the progress that I've made and some of the stuff that we've been working on. The first thing we've tried to do is just get that freedom and let the lower body sort of, just drive the arms. So I have to check out the coming videos. I just want to show you the swing. I don't want to get too much in detail about what we've actually been doing. So you guys will tune in later and see that video. I'm just going to hit a shot or two for you here to let you see how it's coming along so far. Right? So right now my only focus is just cutting grass in that direction. 2 solid strikes. There you go. That's a little preview. Plenty more coming. You got to stay tuned for the video where I go through and show you some of the things we worked on and some of the video from our Skype conversation. Stay tuned, check those videos out. They are coming. You'll see my progress. And as you may be able to see, my swing in just a week and a half or so has already changed immensely. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of Sundays at 3 with GTD. Leave me some more questions and comments down below so that we can have some more fodder for next week's episode. And I appreciate all the support from you guys. Thank you very much. Be sure to leave a thumbs up. Share this around with your friends so that everybody can watch me be an idiot on camera. See you next week.